Have you ever thought that you need to be hard on yourself in order to be great? To not give yourself an inch in order for you to go that extra mile? Well, I'm here to tell you that all of that needs to be rearranged. All that thought needs to be rearranged. And we're going to talk about how you can improve your performance substantially by taking this idea of harming yourself into a whole other level to where you're performing at a high level. So we're going to be talking about that on the Spencer Mark podcast. Hey man, this is an important one. Probably one of the most important podcasts that I've done. This is something that I'm continually working on. This idea that we need to get out there and keep grinding, keep being hard on ourselves, because the only way that we can ever overcome our issues or to be anything of worth is to continually be hard on ourselves. But this is a slippery slope. And in my life, my being hard on myself and continually harming myself with these poor thoughts, that bleeds out into my other relationships. So the biggest key here in overcoming that is building a greater awareness of what the hell is happening. And that's what this podcast is about here today, because you need to actually understand. You need to help you understand is like, what are the subtle implications of continually being hard on yourself, and what how that extrapolates out in the other areas of your life. So getting right into it, understanding this first lesson here and the base foundation of everything that you see out in different philosophies and other spiritual teachings is doing no harm to yourself. And this self-attack, how that really destroys overall your health and your happiness. So this first bit, understanding, please, no harm. We need to understand what do we intentionally mean, when we harm ourselves. What are we trying to get? We're trying to find some sort of base, or build some kind of immunity to other harmful events, right? So it's important to really understand the little subtleties that we do each and every day that really harm ourselves. Okay, so this is about building awareness. You have to know what's actually harming you, your own inner self-talk. This is what I help men with all over, is really doing an audit on what the thoughts are going on in your head. Because as we know, thoughts become things. What is invisible becomes visible through our thoughts. And so once I really started to understand that my external world is created by my internal thoughts, when I really understood that, I really had to realize I need to change my shit up. I am borderline depressive. It could be bipolar. I got to really take a look at my entire life and look at the environment of my family, how I'm holding myself in public with my friends, my finances, everything. We really had to do an audit on everything. So I had to go exactly the 180. I found myself complaining a lot. I inherited a lot through my upbringing. My father was really bad with really just complaining about everybody all the time, bitter, resentful, all those things. But that's what makes my dad my greatest teacher, is that I need to be exactly opposite of that. So it's good to have that example, but it's important that we understand that I'm manifesting my world through my thoughts, through my speech, through my behaviors and actions. So if I'm consistently thinking of harm in order to overcome, my subconscious doesn't understand that. It just understands harm. I just invite more harm into my life. So we need to know what that is. And that's why I spelled it K-N-O-W, because I love a play on words. I love myself a good pun. And in order to do no harm means we got to know about it. We got to understand the anti-vision. We got to understand what we don't want in order to gain a greater awareness of what we truly want, not just what others tell us we think we should want. And we could be so easily influenced by others' ideas of what we're supposed to like and dislike and do and not do. And that has some kind of religious type of undertones if you've grown up that way too. It's important that you're doing these things because it resonates with you and your inner self. Okay, so we really got to understand what it is that we don't want. Because when we talk about do no harm or nonviolence and these things, a lot of times it can creep in to where you hear somebody else's voice telling you should not do that. You shouldn't be hurting other people. And it makes us feel guilty. And then that inner rebel in us says like, well, F off, dude. I'm going to do what I want. Especially, and we start playing out these scenarios in your head. Well, if this guy comes up to me with a gun and then tries to take my wife away and take my kids, I'm going to kill that whatever. And you try to justify, and I've done this before, and I've heard so many conversations of guys justifying their reasons to becoming violent. And that's all just a made up scenario in your head. And I'm not saying that couldn't happen, but when guys try to stand firm on their ground and saying that they're justifying violence, they bring up the craziest stories. And that does not mean you're being violent. It means you're protecting your family in that case. You got to do anything possible. That's not violence, right? That's protecting your family. Anyway, so it's important to understand like how far our thoughts can take us, our mind can take us deep down a harmful hole to where we're not really coming out of that. So this is going to seem so basic, so simple, and so, duh. Your harm isn't going to help your growth. Harming yourself isn't going to help you grow. Hating yourself is not going to make you love yourself. You can't, that's not going to happen. You can't hate your kids to prove that you love them. Okay, so again, understand that no amount of harming yourself and telling yourself that you're a POS or you could do better, that's not going to help you grow, okay? And grow in a way that you can help other people. You got to work on nurturing, and that's what I'm continually doing, and that's what my work is about. It's helping men be aware that you need to nurture. And it's this being hard on yourself. And we men deal with this all the time, bro. Sorry, that was a good sip of coffee. Now, I liken this to chemotherapy, where you have a cancer in your body. Rather than really caring for the body, we're going to nuke the body with the most radical poison ever known to man. And if you survive that, then boy, you have this resilience and you're going to overcome this and be on top of it. But only to know that the cancer does come back because you never took care of the underlying cause. But that's another story for another podcast. But this harming ourselves, we feel this can be like our form of chemotherapy, where we're so hard on ourselves and we're forcing ourselves to overcome our situations so bad that we do get a little bit of success sometimes. And that's kind of the intoxicating piece, because it can build a tolerance pattern, a pattern to where if you feel you ever need to overcome a situation, run into a challenge, that we can get in this repetitive pattern of, well, okay, I need to be hard on myself. I need to get up here. I need to get up earlier. I got to quit being such a lazy piece of shit. And I just need to train harder. I got to do these things, and blah, blah, blah. And if we don't do those things, we can get down on ourselves, and then we beat on ourselves even more to try to bring ourselves back up. But it leaves us feeling weaker. It doesn't empower us, because the more you keep doing that, you're going to build a tolerance. Okay, so when you're building a tolerance of how you're speaking to yourself, if you're hard on yourself, you're going to be harder on yourself, and you're going to practice being harder on yourself moment by moment by moment. And you're going to be so hard on yourself, you're going to get lost in your own thoughts. I've done this before to where it'll carry over to the rearing up of my kids, or I'm in the car and somebody's driving slowly, or someone cuts me off, and you get crazy, and you unleash like this venomous hate on other people. You think of hate all the time, but you got to understand those thoughts are hurting your entire body. They're hurting yourself mentally. They're hurting yourself existentially. Okay, so this repetition that we're doing of being hard on yourself, this is how it is. This is how it has to be. You being hard on yourself, you overcome it. It weakens you. It drains your energy, man. Have you felt that before? Is anyone out there have felt just like this energy suck when you're hard on yourself? And you're just sitting on their couch and you're just resting for the end of the day, but then that inner voice in your head tells you, God, you're lazy. You're a POS, man. Why don't you get off your ass and do something? Oh my God, here we go again. That inner bitch carrying over, and we're tough on ourselves. And that's when the numbing comes, whether that's overeating, drinking, drugs, sex, you name it. And that, again, that'll be a whole other topic we talk about. But it weakens your resolve. Your resilience and your ability to bounce back erodes because you understand you don't even have your own back. You gotta have your back. You know what I'm saying? You can't rely on other people to pick you up. You need to pick you up in the best way possible. And we're going to go talk about this in this mind-body law here too. You have a mind and a body, okay, and a spirit, okay. So if we're thinking hard all the time, this is the law of the subconscious. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And everything that we're thinking about in our day-to-day life is impregnating. Our conscious mind is impregnating our subconscious of what we invite into our world. The subconscious births our objective world to us each and every moment. Okay, that is the law of it. And if we're thinking difficulty all the time, if we're thinking lack, if we're thinking weakness, that we're not enough, okay, that's what mama brings us each and every day, that we're not enough. It's making that a reality for us to pick up with our five senses. Okay. So understand, if you're thinking hard on yourself all the time, you're going to be hard on yourself all the time. Look, Goggins has done amazing work. I really appreciate his story, but staying hard all the time, that hurts. Has anyone ever taken too much Viagra? It's tiring. It's painful to stay hard all the time. Nothing can grow. You can imagine placing a seed on top of a brick versus a seed on top of soft soil. You can sink the seed into the soil and then let nature take its course, or we can yell at that seed that's on that brick and see if being hard, if that helps. You have to allow some softness in, right? Okay. So again, what we bring about, what we think about, that's the truth of the universe. That's a universal law. So we got to understand, we got to flip this around. You can flip it by thinking nurture. What is it that you can do to nurture the life you want? Because if you're feeling lack in the areas of money, you got to start thinking about money instead of thinking of the lack thereof. What do you enjoy about money? What about your health? What do you love about your health? Because we're always eager to point out all the shit that's going wrong with our health. Oh, I'm fat. I don't have a six pack. I'm getting my pain in my back. And especially as guys get older, it's like we really start pointing out our pain. And the more we talk about our pain, the more the subconscious goes, okay, pain it is. And then your nervous system begins to understand your entire environment around you as a threat. And how your nervous system responds to you being in a threat is it shoots pain signals through your body. It has really not a lot to do with tissue damage. It has everything to do with danger. It senses. So if you're thinking danger and harm if you're thinking harm all the time, that brings about an environment of danger to where your nervous system starts firing off pain signals. Danger, danger. So we need to nurture ourselves. If you're having pain in your body, focus on different parts of your body where you don't have pain. That's how you nurture a good feeling. If you're feeling lack in money, any amount that comes in, think about a time that you did have more money. You think about it, you've really always had enough money, haven't you? You've always had enough money, and guess what? You always will have enough money. So start thinking about those things you want to bring about, not lack thereof. Instead of harming yourself, get to the understanding. What is it that you do want? You want love in your life? You want health? You want perfect self-expression, happiness? These are the things that you're allowed to think about, and then the subconscious mind will bring that into your life. Okay, there's this saying called Wu-Wei. This is a like Taoist philosophy. You'll hear Alan Watts speak on this. If anyone's listening to this podcast, you probably understand who Alan Watts is. But I'd love this. Nature shows us what Wu-Wei is, which is less effort. It's about using less forcing, more flow into our life. So, you ever seen a dandelion that goes from, yellow into those little poofy, things that you just blow on? And those are the seeds of the dandelion. That's why I see dandelions spread all over the place, because they use its structure. It uses the wind to just cast itself out there. Right? We think about a flow of a river. It's so much easier to get into a river and just kind of use the oars to keep you in the middle of it. You know, you can imagine getting into a raft. You want to go on a floating trip. It's like, all right, guys, I got you all here. Got all 8 of you to help me go upriver. I think with all 8 of us, we'll be able to make some. I think we'll be able to get somewhere. No, dude, no. Flow with it, right? Less effort. I do this in my teachings with yoga as well. Can you get into these poses here by using less effort, breathing, relaxing, letting go of the tension you might be holding inside of your face? Relax. Can you hold these positions in life with less effort, less resistance in your life? And you're going to allow that flow, the flow of money, the flow of love, the flow of laughter, lightness. You're expanding yourself. Again, ride the river instead of paddling upstream. Trust the current. Trust where these conversations with people that love you and trust you, and where that will take you. Less resistance to it all. Have the courage to really explore where life could be taking you. It's fun that way, right? So you don't need that type of effort to get through life. It's going to happen anyway. Less effort means you have more energy to pour into the things that you really love to do. You're going to be able to live longer. Your heart rate's going to lower, right? And we're going to get into the physical of this here too. The fear-based versus the love-based. There's really 2 roads here, and it all comes down to. And one thing here is like when you look at the root cause of all hate, violence, you have fear underneath there. The fear of that your truth may not be true. The fear of nonconformity, the fear of chaos, the fear of death. There's a million things that you're fearful of. And when we're fearful, what does that do to your body? When you think about it yourself, when you're really fearful, you're constricted. You're tight. Even in your brain, you're not even using the rational parts of your brain in your neocortex. We're really getting back to the limbic brain. We're really feeling, and we're really holding ourselves in and protecting ourselves. And when we're doing this, you're going to find that you're going to be beating yourself up. So this tension you feel in the body is the first subtle clue that, I'm feeling uneasy. I'm feeling some fear. And you don't have to call it fear. You can call it anxiousness, worried. Worried about another person is still worrying, okay? Overall, this is stress, whether it be in the body or the mind. It's this tension that we're holding, okay? So if we're feeling tension, that's, one thing. If we're feeling tension in our chest, we can breathe. Long exhales. You can feel your shoulders relax. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Long exhales. And you feel everything begin to soften up. You cannot be fearful when you are relaxed. Okay, so when we're tense, think about what happens when we start getting tense. We explode more. Okay, that means more yelling. Could be name calling. Now, this is all stuff that I've done, right? Blaming other people for the problems that are happening outside of you. If you're getting in a hurry, you ever notice yourself getting in a hurry? Like you need to get the kids to the soccer practice or piano lessons, or you're in charge. Like I use this with driving. We men, we're typically in charge of getting to people where they need to get to, and we take pride on getting our people on to the places they need to get to on time. And if that doesn't happen, if we're running late, right, what happens? We get fearful, we get pissed, we get upset. No one talk in the car, and I gotta hurry and get this. Oh, this asshole cut me off, and you lay into the horn, and you get upset, and you're pissed, and it's bad. So notice when you're getting yourself in a hurry, and how much shorter you might be getting with other people around you. Try to stay on island time, my man. Don't worry. You'll get there in plenty of time if you want to leave on time. And if you're late, you're late. Let it go. Is it worth it? Right? So this being in a hurry, this kind of might lead to resentment over time and how you feel about yourself. And just know that that's scattered energy. It's like a bomb going off. It blows everything out of proportion. And it might lead you to feeling more disconnection from other people. Fewer friends, shallower conversations that don't mean anything, could lead to loneliness, isolation if left unabated over time. So this is the love side. The love side, gonna expand your heart and open your mind. So this is having love and kindness in your life is going to expand your body. It's going to expand the way you think, expand the way you think of other people and feel about others. You'll have space to hold conversations with other people, deeper conversations. It invites more curiosity in yourself and in others. Curiosity about situations, taking a different route to work, trying out a different restaurant, trying new food, play. Go to a play. Get yourself in an improv class. Play some cards with your buddies. Invite some lightness. Okay? Enjoy, expand, unfold. There is so much joy to be had rather than just living your life day to day just to get into a casket at the end of life. Okay? So understand, what are some things that open you? Breath. Breath can open you. Tension can drop when you understand the tying into the breath. Physically, your blood sugar is going to lower, thus leading to greater amounts of fat loss, muscle gain, better metabolic health. Your blood pressure is going to drop. You're going to have more blood flow throughout your body. You're going to have less pain felt inside of your body as well. Your rational brain becomes online too. I mean, this is your neocortex, the brain where it comes up with rational ideas or creativity, all those things. You're going to have a regulated nervous system. You're going to be able to handle new ideas. You're going to be able to go deeper conversations, like I mentioned before. More inspiration, more enlightenment. No stress because you're not feeling tension. There's no tension in your body. You're going to have abundant health. You're going to have abundant wealth. You're going to experience perfect love and perfect self-expression, which is the four corners of what Florence Scovel Shinn talks about as true happiness in her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. Excellent book. So again, the choice is yours. You don't need to be hard on yourself. It doesn't lead to anywhere good or anywhere you want, my man. I know it. We got to get to the love. So harm does send you a bill, and I want to go over this physically. High blood pressure. Okay, you're getting pissed off at yourself all the time. It's going to have high blood pressure, high blood sugar. Okay, remember when you are constricted and you're holding on to stuff, right? When you're fearful, guess what else it's holding on in your body? Fat. You're not going to let go of fat. You're going to want to stay tucked in and just consume and stay on the couch with Netflix. You're tucked in like a tick. When you're getting fatter and fatter and fatter, you need to move your body, need to expand and to move. You're going to release the blood pressure, lower your blood sugar, become more insulin sensitive. You're going to let go of chronic tension. Your blood flow is going to increase, because if we're not moving our body, you're going to lead to this muscle wasting over time. So physically, you're going to have this muscle wasting when we're continually harmful on ourselves. Then you're going to lead to stress eating, right? Stress eating, everybody's favorite. Hit out the peanut butter, everybody. Peanut butter. Get out the donuts. Bring out the ice cream. Chubby hubby, baby. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Give me a couple pints of that. Mental and emotional bill. Depression. Chronic anger. That's me, man. Oh, chronic anger. Anxiety. Worried about a future that hasn't even come yet. Constant worry, dread, doom, feeling doom and this emptiness. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to get on there and we're going to scroll away. And that's only going to lead us feeding emptier, right? Professionally, poor performance. You're going to experience fewer opportunities for those promotions. No one's going to really want to be around an asshole. You could even have a job loss. Relational and your spiritual disconnections too, like fewer meaningful experiences because you're not getting out more. You're going to experience an existential drift, like why bother? You'll be more apathetic in life, right? So when you're thinking harm, your subconscious produce harm across your body, your mind, your spirit. That's what you're thinking of. The subconscious mind is going to produce the life that you want, and it does not respond to sarcasm. It doesn't respond with a sense of humor. So if you're talking shit about yourself, even though you're sarcastic, it takes you at your word, okay? So just know that. That was a big aha for me too. Like, oh, it doesn't get my sarcasm. Like say, oh yeah, boy, it'd be really great to be fat right now. Yeah, right. Well, guess what? That had happened over time. That's exactly what could happen. No more of that. So the first principle here, what love is going to generate for yourself, like true love for yourself, man. Peace, joy, abundance, security, goodwill towards others and as well as yourself. Success. All of that stuff does not originate from harm. Homie, it originates from love. Got to practice it. What is poor and bad in your life when you have love, peace, joy, abundance, security, goodwill, success in your life? Admit it. Stand on top of your desk, man, and just announce that you have decided to be happy and healthy and filled with love. And unapologetically. You are the creator of it. You create your world. So what is it that you're choosing? Baby, I know what I'm choosing. I'm choosing inner-directed living. Being inner-directed from the inside. That's when you're a creator of your life. You see yourself as a creator of your life and not living externally when you're a consumer of your life. When we're scrolling, we're consuming. When we're creating, we're really living inner-directed. Okay? So it's easy to become outwardly influenced. I'm a consumer. We're all consumers too, to a degree, but we need to have that awareness of understanding, okay, like I'm starting to feel like shit. I want to go to the opposite way of that. I'm going to start creating stuff. So it starts with your awareness. So you just know you can design the life that you love with having perfect wealth, the growing wealth, perfect love, perfect self-expression. What does that look like for you? See yourself from the end. So again, a little hat tip to Florence Scovel Shinn, their game of life and how to play it. Those are the 4 aims of the map to happiness: perfect health, growing wealth, perfect love, and perfect self-expression. Kind of sums it up for me. Okay. So happiness, that is a decision. Like you see in my sign back behind me. You had to choose to be happy. You had to proclaim it. Make that decision. Damn it, I'm going to be healthy and happy. Right? And if you've made it this far, you've made that decision to be healthy and happy. And I love you, man. I appreciate you. Again, the biggest key is awareness. It's you have the choice. The invisible thoughts inside of your mind are going to create your visible objective world. It's going to happen. So once you're aware of that, what kind of life are you creating? You need to work on building your imagination for creating the thoughts of your health, wealth, beauty, and abundance. What do those things look like for you from the finished state? Be mindful of wanting these things. Just live as if. Live as if and be grateful for that. Gratitude is the biggest piece that really brings everything into the fold. Having gratitude for it. Because there are parts of your body where you are healthy. There are parts in your life where you experience wealth. You have beauty in your world and abundance. Focus on those things and then say, thank you. I thank you for this. Say it every morning and every night before bed. When the conscious mind is a little bit more relaxed, that's when our subconscious can be impregnated with our intentional thought. So having a saying when you wake up, a gratitude pledge in the morning, a letting go at night, and gratitude for the evening, great times to do it. Understand that everyone has their choice point. Everyone has a fork in the road. And that point is, look, do I choose harm? Am I going to be hard on myself? Or is it health? Ask yourself, what is the end goal of you when you're being hard on yourself anyway? It's to overcome. So find a way to creatively overcome, tapping into the real power, which is love. Huey Lewis, man, he talked about the power of love. Yeah, look how much power that dude had in the 80s. It wasn't even that good. But he still lives in my brain, 2025. Your choice, baby. Fear or love. And I know you're going to be picking love. Don't be afraid of it. So what you can do, these are some simple things I work on with my guys, is the catch, name, and redirect. We really got to do an internal audit of our thoughts. If we catch ourselves being shitty towards another person or hating on another person or hating on ourselves, whatever that is, whenever that comes up, we got to work on catching it. I'm a piece of shit. I caught it. Let's name it. Oh, this is me being like overly like a self-loathing on myself. Redirect it. I have love and abundant love inside of my life. I appreciate my life, and I appreciate my wanting more for myself. I love and care for myself. Whatever that redirect is, catch whatever that thing is. I'm always in a hurry. Name it. It's like, oh, I'm feeling hurried and rushed. Redirect. I get my kids to work on time. I show up on time all the time. I can't ever make a decision. I never know what to do. Oh, catch it. I'm in indecision right now, and I'm going to redirect it. I make decisions promptly and accurately. It's up to you, but you need to catch it. You need to name it out loud of what it is, and then redirect it to your advantage. Gratitude snacks. Whenever you can think of it throughout the day, we often snack here and there. It's not usually the best thing for our food, but you're allowed to snack all you want when it comes to gratitude, baby. When you feeling like, you know what, I'm grateful for my health. I'm really grateful for my mustache. I'm grateful that I can see when I have these glasses on. I'm grateful for my prescription right now. All right. I'm grateful to have this podcast. I'm grateful you're here listening. And these is real things. And the thing is, you're going to tune in. Your subconscious mind is going to really respond by feeling. You can use words all you want, but if there's no feeling underneath, nothing's going to really be brought into your world until it has a feeling. That's why typically negative things come into our life much more easy, because we can really use our imagination for all the things we don't want, right? Right? We can be definitely fearful and cold and resentful towards life, and really feel into that. So working on your gratitude. What are you really grateful for? Snack it throughout the day, even if it's just like a few seconds. Show love to yourself by changing your state. Just a few days ago, I was like, man, I'm getting bombarded by negative thoughts and this depressed feeling. It happens to me often. No amount of my body being in shape is going to make my thoughts always stay positive and in shape. Okay, this is why an outside-in approach to your health and happiness doesn't work. It needs to start from the inside. So I need to change my state when I get this way. Walking is absolutely essential for me. Sometimes with a podcast in, but a lot of times it's without, so I can focus on my steps, work on breathing. I get a lift in. When I go teach yoga, I get to my yoga class too, or I teach and stretch, calling a friend and just being there for them. That'll help change your state. And again, you won't always feel like shit. And if you're aware that you create your reality, if you're having piss poor thoughts of yourself and others, just know that it's okay. Have love for yourself. That means having space for yourself to kind of figure it out. You're not going to be perfect. We're here on Earth to have Earth school, right? We're here to figure this out little by little. How boring would it be to have all this shit figured out, right? Boring. We're here to grow, baby. And that's what I'm saying. So change your state. What works for you? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to know what helps change your state. Now, one thing that could be very helpful too is put a pause on consuming. If you're feeling like, ooh, down in the dumps and crappy, when I'm feeling that way, I'm typically consuming. And I'm not putting anything out there. That's why I love having this podcast, because I'm creating something. I don't care. Even in my last episode, 40 people looked at it, but I got to keep going. Right? Because the process of creation is what helps bring gratitude into my life. And I have more happiness. I'm feeling more health and well-being in my life when I create something. And when I create, that comes from the inside. So ask yourself, are you consuming right now, or are you creating? Create something. Ask yourself, what am I creating in my life right now? Am I creating love and happiness and joy and peace and expansion in my life? Or am I the other way? Am I becoming more isolated? Am I getting more pissed off? Is my heart rate racing? What are you creating? Health or harm in your life? So those are just some things that you can do. But the biggest thing you could do to really get serious about this, when you know that you really want to make some changes in your life here too, you just scan this QR code and you're going to get my image blueprint. This is a blueprint that's going to lay out everything that you need to know, from understanding the identity you want to have in your life. You're going to understand your metabolism and how that works through your nutrition, through your movement, through your sleep and your stress. You're going to understand, you're going to have a greater awareness tools that are going to help you do inner audits of what your inner self-talk is like, so your outer world matches the life that you want. You're going to understand what your goals are minimally, your target goals, your stretch goals, each and every week. And you're going to work on embodiment practices to where you are embodying the identity that you want, and you live the life as the man that you want to be and always wanted to be. It's absolutely free. Scan the QR code, go to the image blueprint, download a PDF. I go through a 5-day challenge to where you get an email each and every day on how to fill that thing out. And if you want to work together, if you're serious about making a change in your life, and if you want lasting health and happiness, if you want the fit body, you want the fit mind, and you want to be able to have the wealth and abundance of a wonderful relationship and the people all around you, then let's work together. All that is in the description. I love you very much. I hope that you find love for yourself today. I know you will if you've made it this far. But I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next podcast.